So Lissa Kapust we heard about a little bit earlier, and now we're honored to have her give a presentation to us briefly. Lissa has now had 46 years of dedication and to creating and leading novel programs for people with Parkinson's at the BIDMC. She received another grant from the Parkinson's Foundation now for 10 years in a row, this year for a novel program on narrative medicine in collaboration with Dr. Sneha Mantri at Duke University. Lissa will be honored to travel to Nashville soon for the Parkinson Foundation's Leadership Conference, where she's going to present there on the value of the Parkinson Foundation grants to our Center of Excellence. And let me turn it over to Lissa now.
Well, Jay Dobeck, I need you up front, please, front and center. You don't know what's coming, but it is really in the spirit of Thanksgiving an opportunity to thank you for a decade of putting up with me putting up Jay's production company is called Last Minute Productions. And we are often up to the last minute getting the edits done. But each time we end up with a piece that I am so proud of. And to follow David Leventhal, Stacy Lee's surprising grant. Thank you for keeping it a secret from me, because I don't know if I would have shown up. This was awesome. But David Leventhal, you partly wrote my talk, but this is about Jay. And Jay, I have a certificate for you. So this is a certificate of appreciation presented to Jay Dobeck, Last Minute Productions, Parkinson's filmmaker, educator, and friend. You are such an advocate for our community, and I really thank you. So this is well-deserved. And then, yeah. You know, I got an email from, I don't know whether it was Marilyn or Karen 2 days ago, 3 days ago, and I said, I'm going to be running out of time, which I will be, but I don't really care. So I said, can you create some kind of a song tribute to Jay? Can't be more than a minute or David will really have my head. So keep it short. And I think they did. I'm not exactly sure.
He's always last minute, but he's never late. He makes our movies, he makes us look great. He's not confused when we oscillate. That's why our JD is a champ. He interviews with remarkable poise, cuts to the chase, cuts through the noise. He works his magic to give us a voice. That's why Jay Dobeck is our champ. Our song ain't fine art, but it's straight from the heart. Thank you, Jay, for being our champ.
So now for my talk, it's an annual honor, and I often make this a talk where I reflect back on the past year, what we've done, but I'm also going to reflect on where we're going. Yeah, do our words really matter? That's the title of my talk, but the subtitle is The Story of the Reluctant Buffalo. I don't know what they have to do together, but actually I do. And if you hang in with me, I will connect the dots, because the story of the reluctant buffalo is a story about storytelling. And it's a story that really underscores our words matter and your words matter. And I hope to make that connection. So this is the overview of our programs. You've heard a lot about them, and I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but you'll see on there pickleball for Parkinson's. It doesn't exist yet, but it's an idea in my mind, and I planted a seed in David's mind, and it came from one of you who asked a question earlier, so I know he's at home watching this remotely. He said, I play pickleball. It is the greatest. I need you to get a program going for Parkinson's and pickleball. So we are working out the details, and I hope that it will happen. Pole walking, that was a collaborative effort with the Jewish Community Center. Started out with one of your ideas. I brought it to Heidi White over at the JCC. She did a program this fall, and now it's going to be part of their regular offerings. It is really cool. It is a program that uses activator poles to get you outside in the woods, on a walking track, indoors, safely, and feeling able to get your steps in. What else do we have? Managing the Middle Years, a new program that we launched over the past year. We get a lot of people on these remote networking discussions. If you haven't joined us, what are the middle years? I'm not really sure. I made that term up, but it's somewhere between your newly diagnosed and you're at the later stages of Parkinson's. So it's a lot of ground in between. But how do you deal with coping with medicine, lifestyle changes, talking with your doctors? So that's a program. Follow the newsletter that Jackie and Hannah send out. You'll see the announcements of that. Dose of Hopamine, you're going to hear about that a little bit in the end. And we have the For and About Women program, brings women together monthly. The last meeting we had, people said, man, you did a music mindset program. Bring in that speaker. We want to hear her. And we did. Kathleen Howland. She was wonderful. People said, we want more. David, they want more. We have to make it happen. So that's the overview of our programs. And this is a new program that you met Roseanne at the break. It's a NIA program, but the comments from the students in her class, I just love. Wow, what a first class for us. We haven't moved like that since our parties in the 60s. Pretty good. I love your uplifting class, your enthusiasm, and your playlist. Back to what David Leventhal said, you got to have music. It makes you move. And I have come to enjoy and indeed rely on the gentle workout we do. So that's your feedback. We're listening to you. Keep it coming. This is a grant that we just wrapped up at the end of June 2024, and we had it for a year. This was an amazing program. Any of you in the audience participate? Yeah, a lot of hands. Amazing. For the year, we had speakers talking on all kinds of the arts, the sciences, all different topics. Our idea was to inspire curiosity. We had 3 authors who published books. We sent the books to people that participated, and we brought people together to hear pretty exciting topics. Spirituality in the brain. Who knew spirituality, neurospirituality was a field? I didn't know, but we heard from the leading, really one of the leading scientists on this. We did the cause of Parkinson's. That was David's talk. Understanding your memory, the long and the short of it, Dr. Margaret O'Connor, one of the smartest people I know in the field. Every speaker was wonderful, including David Leventhal, giving a talk and a demonstration that people just loved. So the current grant that we're now working on is called Narrative Medicine. And again, David Leventhal, I can't see you, but your talk really was a segue. You talk about storytelling. That's what this is. I got inspired for narrative medicine. I never heard the term. A year ago, I went to a conference and met Sneha Mantri, who's a neurologist from Duke. She developed this technique using narrative medicine, which is actually a field that's been around for a while, called the 55-word story. Can you imagine telling your story in 55 words or less? We had 12 participants engaging with each other, talking about their journey with Parkinson's, and then getting together and writing their 55-word stories. Jay Dobek, our videographer, videoed each of these participants. the idea is that they will use their 55-word stories to communicate with their healthcare providers. How can they get to know them better? In this world of technology, and I'm the lowest on the technology totem pole, but these videos can be uploaded into the Epic medical record so that your healthcare provider, whether it's a physical therapist, a speech therapist, your neurologist, they can look at this 55-word story and really understand for that individual what matters most. And the research indicates that outcomes are better when doctors do more than listen to the patient beyond the stethoscope. So it's a very cool program. And if you are interested, we have a few slots left for our January cohort. It is 4 workshops for only an hour. If you're interested, but somehow meeting on Wednesdays, which is when this group will meet, doesn't work out for you, we're going to have a spring cohort as well. And that'll be meeting Monday in the late afternoon. But let us hear from you. We want to get your name. If we can register you for January, great. And if not, and you're more interested in the spring, we'll get you signed up for that. So these are 4 videos, 55-word stories. And thank you to the individuals who gave us permission to share these.
Simplicity is necessary in all aspects of my life, especially within my social relationships. My brain no longer has the capacity to actively keep in touch and proactively make future plans. I would still like to see you. Just tell me when and where, and I'll be there. Nothing you have done has caused this change. It's not you, it's Parkinson's.
I hoped I'd be the meme who still laughs and runs and plays, whose child's child lingers in her soft and safe embrace. But trails of breadcrumbs beckon me to shake the slow that threatens me. Tiny pills breach barriers. Prison cells of stumbling blocks parole my legs. I move, unlocked. But now the writhing rolls awake, while quivers sleep. Shake, cease, rise, repeat. My heart gives thanks when shaking stops. My joints rejoice when writhing rests. Becoming mem, I cling to vertical.
PD is advancing. Don't like what I must consider soon, like options for my future housing and care. Can anyone tell me what really lies ahead or what I can expect? If I could plan beyond the symptoms of today and tomorrow, I'd feel more in control and most likely better.
Parkinson's means incomplete sentences. You can speak well, and I'm someone who speaks many languages: French, English, German, Italian, Hebrew, Arabic. Parkinson's also interrupts my gait, my swimming, my bicycling. It interrupts my day with pills. I try to stay upbeat, not always. When I think of what can happen or will happen, I try to take time to enjoy what I still have.
So thank you to each of these participants for so courageously being willing to share their story. So now I'm going to tell you about Jane's story. This is an amazing story. Like many people with Parkinson's, Jane had a really stubborn sleep disorder. And she got linked up with Dr. Robert Thomas, one of our sleep disorder specialists. Dr. Thomas is from India, and his connection with Jane was so interesting. And I said, Dr. Thomas, like, what is your background? So he described that he grew up in India on a dairy farm, and he was surrounded by buffaloes. Those animals would stand in the middle of the road and just not move for anyone or anything. The farmers would push from behind to no avail. But he observed, if you are patient Even the most stubborn, reluctant buffalo can be coaxed to move. And he said, Jane, I can help you with your sleep disorder. It is like a reluctant buffalo. We are going to work together and we are going to coax it to move. So what did his story offer Jane? It offered her support. It offered her being understood. It gave her hope. And most importantly, the sense of being connected. When she told me her story, I don't know how to tweet. If I knew how to tweet, I would have tweeted it out. But I wrote in an email to all of our providers. I said, you got to hear this story. And you got to hear about what Dr. Thomas could offer Jane in a metaphor that connected and gave her hope. So your words count, and we're listening. And you've seen this photo many times. This is us last year in Austin at the Leadership Conference for Parkinson's, where we were given an award for the top center of excellence in the country. I'd like to thank, David has already called out Hannah and Jackie, who have worked tirelessly on this grant. So many moving parts to make all this happen. And you'll see our symposium volunteers underneath that. They are here today. They are setting up the lunch for those who are staying for the dance event. Molly Schindler was amazing. She took my ideas and my text and transformed them into the PowerPoints. Thank you, Molly. And you, really, we want to thank you, because without you, we don't have a center. And just two upcoming programs to know about. One is a term that I stole. I stole from Bas Blum, who gave a talk in our PDU Parkinson's course. And he talked about, yeah, sure, people get dopamine for Parkinson's. That's not what they need most. They need hopamine. I said, hopamine, I'm stealing that term. So I went to my friends in our palliative care group. I said, let's do a January program on hopamine for 2025. So that's the program. It's going to be January 14th. I hope many of you will join us. It's remote, so it doesn't cost anything. Show up. You've got nothing to lose. And our palliative care colleagues are just wonderful. And then the other thing is the narrative medicine workshop, trying to promote it, trying to get the last few slots filled, and hope that if you are curious, that you'll think about joining. And I always like to leave with a takeaway. And a couple of years, I use this, and I'm back to the boy, the mole, the fox, and the horse. If you need a holiday gift, it's not too late. This is great for adults of all ages and children of all ages. It is like an updated Winnie the Pooh. And this is one of the quotes from it. Help, said the horse. Asking for help isn't giving up, it's refusing to give up. Ask us for help. We're asking you for help. I really thank you for your patience. I've gone overtime. Sorry, David, but look forward to seeing many of you at the dance workshop this afternoon, and hope that we'll see you in our programs.